Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I figured it has been a hot minute since I did some live stream sprints on the channel. So it's well overdue. Pete, I think, is joining me in a little bit here. Awesome, John. I'm excited for you. I hope you really enjoy it. It's obviously one of my favorite books of fantasy of all time. It's amazing. So enjoy the read. Hey, Kev. What are you reading? Hey, Ryan. How's it going? I'm actually going to be writing during the sprints, trying to get some focus time in, which I have been having a hard time with this last few weeks, trying to keep my brain focused. It's been a challenge. I'm doing pretty okay. I got a chiropractic adjustment today, which was great because my back was all kinds of messed up when I woke up this morning. And it's greatly improved now, which is great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's exactly what I thought, Ryan. You know, I need the collective incredible focus of the very neurodivergent fantasy reading community. It's going to be great. But yeah, actually for me, it kind of works pretty well because there's an immediate accountability where like you guys will give me like the side eye if I don't write anything during the sprints. So I need that. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Y'all let me know what you're reading in the comments because I need to know. I am 65% through Dark Age. And I've been filming a lot of vlog clips for it this last probably 10 to 15% because I have things to say. Lots of things to say about this book. But I'm trying to see. Yeah, I've got about, where's my bookmark? Right here. So I've got about this much left. I'm excited to see what the ending looks like. Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. Is that a newer one by her? I have not heard of that before. Hi, Elaine. How's it going? Making sure I haven't missed any messages. Hey, Jeff. Older, but she revives them ago. Nice. That's cool. To the Lighthouse. Very nice. Who's that by? I feel like I've heard the title before, but I'm not sure who it's by. I started pulling out the books that I will probably be reading in July, and I think I might have to take one out. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all of these, you guys. There's so many that I need to read in July. It's going to be wild. There's a lot of good reads. Like I'm very excited about them, but it's a stack. Nice, Mike. Virginia. Yes, that's why I knew the title. Virginia Woolf. Is that your first time reading Virginia Woolf? Or have you read anything else by her? I just read A Room of One's Own this year by her. I think that was this year. Time. What is time? But Goodreads is terrible. Goodreads is such a hot mess, to be honest. Yeah, drives me bonkers as an author and as a reader. But it is nice for keeping track of my reads every year. I've tried Storygraph. I have tried Storygraphs, but I don't know. I just didn't click with it. Maybe I should try it again. Does anybody here use Storygraph instead of Goodreads? Part of it is from an author perspective, like I have to be on Goodreads because so many more people use it. This is Dalloway and found it captivating. Nice. Very cool. Katie said that something was going on with her laptop, so she may be still having a bit of an argument with her technology. But before she gets here, maybe I could wait to embarrass her with these, but you guys should go check out her books. Hills of Heather and Bone, which was a finalist in this last year's self-published fantasy blog off. And if you like some really dark assassin fantasy, The Assassin of Grins and Secrets is also a highly recommend. So if those aren't on your TBR yet, they should be. Ash, you are not alone. I feel like that's just kind of a natural state of being for most of us here on BookTube, to be honest. Like, I don't even want to talk about my TBR. I think I went over 500 on my want to read on Goodreads the other day, and I give up, honestly. Oh, Katie must still be having trouble with her laptop. I agree, Zen. I don't think enough people are reading it, to be honest. It is very, very good. If you guys like honestly dark assassin fantasy with a great trio of main characters that isn't a love triangle, you should check it out. Also, she does a really cool thing describing, she has a character who sees everything, sounds, people, etc. in shades of different colors. Synesthesia? Or is that the right word? Synesthesia? It's one of those. And the way she describes it is very, very cool. I use Storygraph, and I like it better than Goodreads, although it is missing some books. Yeah, I've kind of played around on there a little bit. I know Storygraph offers you the option of like seeing your like more graphs of what your year looks like in terms of genre and how long the books you're reading are. I kind of, besides Goodreads, I just kind of use like a Excel spreadsheet setup that gives me all of that. We have a Katie.
Okay, I did it.
It
was fine.
Dying.
I don't know. I was trying to clear out my cache, and I underestimated how much was there. And it's like, there's a couple thousand things that need to be deleted. I'm like, oh, cool. So then the whole laptop slowed. Sure. And here we were.
Yeah. Your microphone is super loud and scratchy. I don't know why, but...
is that better?
I think so.
These are new headphones, so my old ones were great because you couldn't hear the other ones. It's just I'm weird about having two things in my ears. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, 1100 Steam games that's impressive, Zin. I have like 6 on my Steam, I think, that I haven't played yet. Yes, Ryan, it's not a love triangle, and that's wonderful. We're talking about Assassin of Grins and Secrets.
Oh, I was like, I don't know, I miss so much.
Hills of Heather and Bone was awesome.
Aw.
You're always side-eyeing, Brian. Sly Fox Hollow by Brett Allen. Very cool. Very nice. Genre? So, Katie, would you like to tell us what you're going to be working on this evening, or is it a secret?
So I'm doing 2 things. I'm doing edits for a client, trying to get through that. And then once I feel confident that I met my daily goal, I will jump back into my sequel for Assassins of Grins and Secrets. And hopefully we'll get somewhere.
Love that.
So far,
go ahead.
I was going to say, so far, page 91 out of like 700 pages. So that's where we're at.
You got to start somewhere.
Yes.
Yes, Evie. What are you reading? Hey, Pete. Pete should be joining us momentarily. I'm going to be working on Cold Silver, my fantasy western, which is about a third of the way drafted, and I'm determined this next couple of weeks to just get some decent word count in. So I find that it always helps. I talked with Ben, my husband, for anybody who doesn't know, today about it, and like kind of fleshed out some things, and then I got all excited about it again. So now I'm like, let's write. So it's gonna be great. Is that book 3 of the Shards of Earth? I just got Shards of Earth. I'm very excited to read it. Adrian Tchaikovsky. I've read 2 things by him so far, Ogres and Guns of the Dawn. Guns of the Dawn was fantastic. Ogres was also very good, but I didn't like it as much as Guns of the Dawn. Hey, Nero. Tori, do you always write chronologically, or do you bounce around while writing? I typically write pretty chronologically, just because I do have a hard time with sequential processing because of my ADD. And so one of the things that helps me with that is keeping myself like very chronological as I'm working through the story, because otherwise it's hard for my brain to put things in order. So I might jump like a chapter or 2 ahead, but typically I stay pretty chronological. You could, Evie, you absolutely could. You can read or write. Don't sell yourself short. Shards of Earth, Neptune, both. That's the thing with Tchaikovsky's work, is he has so many options and so many different like genres and subgenres that, yeah. Want a hot take, Tori? Breaking news. I'm giving Sun Eater Book 6 100 more pages before I DNF the series and be Book 2. What? What? Wow, that is a hot take. I'm impressed by that, Brian. I am definitely going to need to hear more about that. Well, hopefully it turns around for you. I feel like 6 books into a series is a really sad time to DNF. That's really sad. Hey, Britton. I saw, is that the one you posted on Twitter, Phased? I hope you enjoy it. Hey, Ron. Hey, Zamar. You guys should all go check out Zamar's new book, The Riven Earth. The cover is incredible, and I've already been hearing good things. I am really excited to get a copy so I can read it. Words of Uncreation. Yeah, that is a very hot take. Yeah, Evie, you should absolutely write with us. Do it. Yes, Britain. Werewolves, Dagnabbit, and not toxic, glittery vampire werewolves. Yeah, I'm not usually like a completionist, but if I was 75% in, that would be a tough one. So we are going to get started. Let me make my banner here. I'm thinking we'll just do a 45-minute sprint. Does that sound good to you?
It does.
Okay. Okay. Well, everybody, pull up your cozy chair or whatever you're doing, and we will see you at the top of the hour. Zamar, he does that. That's a very Brian thing. So it is totally possible. That is a bombshell, though. I'm still figuring that one out in my head. All right, let's sprint. Hello, everybody. Hi, Evie.
Hello.
Hi, Chris. How's it going?
So.
Oh, and we have KJ Parker with us. Wow, what a surprise.
Not quite, but yeah, sure. He came out of his hole of no internet.
Great. So, Evie, the big burning question is, are you writing?
I wrote technically 3 sentences, but they're very short. And as I messaged Kev, and I'm like, listen, I'm not made for this. So
hey, you got to start somewhere. If you think our early sentences look amazing, not usually.
that entire time, I was typing, deleting, deleting. I'm way too much of a perfectionist. Like, I think that I have to get it right exactly the first time, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Man, that sounds familiar.
Yep.
That first draft thing is going to be the perfection one, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would help if I had an actual idea. I was just flying by the seat of my pants. So
that's okay.
Pantsers exist.
Hi.
I'm sorry, Zen. I don't have a train obsession, so that's not my current impression.
I'm so glad to hear that, Brian. That
I
pleases me
was
greatly.
hoping he was going to DNF it. I'll be honest.
Which book? Which book is it?
Book 6 of Sun Eater. Brian was like, am I DNFing this series 6 books in at the beginning of the stream? So I'm glad that things have turned around.
Wow, Brian, you're going fast. I remember you were like on book 4, like I felt like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Pete, you just want to notice that Anitha is saying hi to everyone except for us.
I already noticed that.
Hi, Anitha. That was probably intentional. Let's be real.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Anitha.
She's probably going to go back and report that.
So I don't know if this is helpful, Evie, because everyone obviously has their own journey with writing. But like, perfectionism is such a normal part of writing. It is so hard to learn how to just try it and see what works. And I actually do go back and like fix things as I'm going. I've never completely let go of that. But yeah, it's going to be okay.
yeah. So it's more the fact, it's more the case of like I have a whole like notes thing of just ideas that I have.
Yeah.
But I haven't learned how to expand on those yet, other than the initial premise, or not even initial premise, but like, I don't know, like a character name or whatever.
Yeah.
What I was thinking of doing as like, just to kind of exercise those muscles is just take, I know this seems so basic, but just like taking fairy tales and rewriting them. So.
Yeah.
Because, you know what? People get published for those now. So, you know.
Well, and it's honestly, that's not that basic, because one of the ways that like at the very beginning of most of our writing journeys, we practice based on mimicry. It's how we as humans learn most things we learn, right? Is we kind of mimic things until we kind of get some kind of a rhythm. And then we're like, oh, okay, I think I can take the training wheels off now. Like, that's totally normal.
I used to, back in the day, I used to do that with Greek myths. So, yeah.
Nice.
I did it with fan fiction.
Mm-hmm.
I tried doing that with fan fiction of Greek myths, aka.
Yeah, I think it's very, and I preach about this a lot, like on my social media circles, but like it really bothers me that we've somehow gotten to a point where the actual like writing the finished result is up on this pedestal, and we've forgotten like to celebrate and appreciate the rest of the writing journey, because it's everything from staring at a blank wall for an hour to inputting creativity with what we read and we watch and all of that kind of stuff, talking to friends, talking it out just with ourselves. Like, there's so many different aspects of the process that we need to talk about and appreciate more, I think.
Yeah, I was going to when Kev was like, "Oh, you better be writing," I was gonna make a joke and be like, "Listen, I'm brainstorming."
Hey, love that. That is very productive.
That's very productive. Yeah.
Katie, what were you going to say?
Oh, I don't think I was going to say anything.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to say anything.
I don't know.
I mean, you've like finished books and stuff and done pretty well, so.
I guess. But then every time I start a new book, I'm like, I don't know how to do this.
Yep.
How book get
Every time.
written?
Good words. Yeah.
It's great when it's a sequel. So I've never done a sequel before, so this is so much fun.
We can do this, Katie.
We can do
You
this.
sound very confident. That
Yay.
very
That's
excited. Like, oh no, I'm not freaking out at all.
No.
Just act, or
my
just
Discord tag is I don't know what I'm doing, which is what applies to most things in writing. Is I don't know what I'm doing until it's done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, or just write a huge first book and then split it in two, and then you magically have two.
Yeah, then you don't have to write book 2. Yeah. That's the thing. Like book 1 has its own challenges, but it's very much like you're setting stuff up and you're introducing the characters, and then you put it out there and everyone loves it, and then you're like, oh, now I have to do it again and make it better.
Or
Yeah.
if you're bad and you push all of the stuff you don't want to explain in book 1 onto book 2, then you have to be like, oh, now I've got to explain this in
Thanks,
the second
past
book.
me.
Thanks. Procrastination.
Yep. So Katie, what are you reading / writing right now? For the
So I'm no longer reading 6 books. I'm now reading 5 books. So it's changed since Monday.
We love to see the progress.
Yeah. And then we'll do it all over again. So reading wise, I'm still on Darkblade Assassin by Annie Pellequin, or Die Young by Morgan Shank, Master of the Void by Wind Raven, and then I don't remember what else. Hold on, let me look up at Goodreads. What are we reading? Oh, and Waking Ursa Minor.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. So, and then writing-wise, I am working on book 2 in my trilogy. I finished my first draft for my fantasy western novella, so that is it's chilling right now, waiting for some feedback so I can fix that, because it needs to be fixed.
Chris?
I am, well, writing wise, I am working on second draft of book 1, of course. This is a mess.
Okay, it's gonna be great.
I'm cutting stuff, and then I'm like, it's like a chain reaction when you like come up to something later that you've cut, and now it no longer makes sense at this next junction. So you're like, okay, now I got to cut this or add it back in at the previous point. So it's a lot of cut and paste right now. So it's all over, but I'm going to make it work. Reading wise, I got 3 going on. Believe it or not, I'm in between indie authors right now. Everything is Tribe Pub right now, which is very rare for me. But
Nice.
I got Color Magic, my first project. I'm going to try. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but I'm going to try publication order. If I don't like it, I'll just jump right to Guards.
I don't think I've ever seen that cover for it.
I am.
Oh, they're like little hard covers. I don't know where.
Yeah, it's the Discworld Library Collection.
It's the fancy
so bad.
edition? Okay. Oh, wait, no.
I'm very glad that you have a plan, because I was like, I'm going to do publication order. And then I read Color of Magic, and I was so underwhelmed by it that I didn't read another Discworld
That's what I'm
until
hearing.
Equal Rights. So, which was,
Rights?
Yeah, so and then, so that was like 4 years between the two.
I did the
and
same
I just
thing.
read Equal Rights like in April. So,
Okay. Yeah, I know. I heard this. And I think like Guards is like number what, 7 or 8?
Yeah, it's in the first 10.
Like yeah. And then I'm going to be starting Warts. I'm going to get on the bandwagon for this standalone. And then nonfiction, which I don't usually talk about, of course, but Ghosts of the Throne, which was recommended by Alan.
Cool.
Yeah.
I thought I'm like, is that a video game? Because I'm thinking of Ghost in the Shell. And that's not the
It's
same.
an anime.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing, only in Alexander's time. So.
Oh yeah.
Evie, what are you reading currently? Writing.
What am I writing? I don't even know. It's just
Words.
Sorry.
So because Anith is here and she's gonna get mad at me if I don't say it. Technically, I am reading 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Am I enjoying it and or prioritizing it? No. No. But I am reading Lords of Uncreation by Adrian.
Nice. Nice. Savis Corvex.
Yep,
Correct.
Corvex book 2. I already
Nice.
say Corvex 2. Yeah, sassy, smart protagonist that is KJ Parker's.
I was gonna say that's every KJ Parker character.
Every KJ Parker first-person character.
Love that.
Specifically.
I saw the first book of that in a Half Price Books in Indiana a couple weeks ago, and I was shocked because, like, I've never seen a KJ Parker book and in Half Price, and I saw like 4 on our trip.
Is that the one with Andrew?
Yes, I did buy 2 of them. I didn't buy that one because I'm trying not to like buy all of the things he's written before I've actually read some of them.
Could get into the situation. I brought like 3 of his trilogies like last year, and now I'm sitting waiting for Alan.
Yeah, I have the folding knife, and then also I got the sub press version of Purple and Black, which was very cool.
Nice. Yeah,
So.
there's plenty more KJ Parker that I have to tide me over though.
I also have 16 Ways to Defend a Walled City up on my shelf.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's the one I hear the most about, and yet I just haven't
Kitty.
touched
Hi,
it.
Yoshi. He's so cute.
It's Yoshi. Oh, also, I'm almost done with this. So, like, I have like 60 pages left. So maybe like what?
Nice.
So after that, I'm gonna start Shadow Kiyoshi because it's great.
Ooh,
I'm buttering that with a few people, so
nice.
it's great. If you are like Avatar: The Last Airbender, you will love these books.
Nice.
Also, technically, I was reading Akira, Volume 1. Apparently, me and the manga / graphic novel format do not mix well with my writing. Like, I do not comprehend what's happening. So,
Interesting. I just have to read them too.
it took me 2 full days to get like 20 pages in.
Oh wow.
It is definitely a transition, for sure. Yeah,
I'm just gonna watch the movie.
that's
So,
fair. That's fair.
I've heard that the movie's better anyways.
Yes.
Nice,
Jonathan
Jonathan
Strange. Nice. I rebought that book recently because I'd heard such good things about it. I was like, okay. Black Dahlia. See, my original thought was, yeah, I'm going to read Lonesome Dove in July. And then I looked at my July stack and I was like, am I though? Especially because I think we're doing King Rat in July as well, correct? In Alan's group, in theory. Somebody in Alan's group is doing King Rat, I heard, I think. Or is that August? I don't know. I'll have to check. I can't keep up, to be honest.
True.
So, also, I am 66% through Dark Age by Pierce Brown.
I was going to ask how you're doing with that. Yeah.
I have thoughts. I have lots of thoughts. It's still good. There's a lot of things that I'm not loving about it. And I feel like Pierce went from like very character driven in the first trilogy, and we are full on plot driven now. And I'm not loving that switch up. So yeah, I have more thoughts. I've been vlogging. So
That's interesting because I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering, but could have swore people said the opposite about. I've said the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
That the new trilogy is more character driven than the other one. I don't know.
There are elements that are still character driven, but like some of it just.
But overall, it's like there. Yeah, There's
Is it the multiple POV aspect that's throwing it off a little bit?
No, because even in book one, like Darrow, who's your eye voice in the original trilogy, he wasn't my like the character driven part of the story for me. It was all the other characters who are in third person anyways. And I do like some of the things that are happening with the POVs. There's definitely a lot of convenience going on, which is driving me a bit bonkers. Like a lot. And I feel like, and I know he took a huge break between Dark Age and Lightbringer because he got halfway into Lightbringer and was like, I've kind of lost myself and I need to go back and figure out where I'm going with the story, which I think like good on him for recognizing that and taking a break. I can see how we got there, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like from Iron Gold to Dark Age, I can see where we got to that point and went, okay, we need to reassess.
Yeah.
So
I always felt like Iron Gold was very much like, let me try this new thing. And then Dark Age was like, okay, let's polish this new thing and throw
add
in so
87
many
more
things.
new things.
Right?
That, yeah.
Kid in the candy shop type of new thing.
Yeah. So I have thoughts. I'm looking forward to Lightbringer because I'm looking forward to seeing what he wrote after the break versus, you know, getting up to. And it's Pierce Brown, so obviously like I'm giving a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Grace about it because I love these characters and I love him as an author, so I'm still like I'm reading everything because it's, you know. But
do you think you'll have a point where you just like, I think he's butchered my favorite character?
I have some predictions of what may happen to some of the characters that wouldn't surprise me. Knowing Pierce Brown as a writer and kind of how his trajectory has been thus far, yeah, I definitely have predictions. He did catch me by surprise in Dark Age a couple times, though. I will admit. Britain's working on a Western. Very cool.
So is that what it's called, fantasy Western? Because now there's like 3 of you writing fantasy Western.
Well, I think Britain's writing a Western. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, like an actual Western. we're over here, you know, with magic and stuff.
I feel like it needs a name though, not just fantasy Western. I feel like kind of like we have romantasy. I mean,
fantasy Yukon isn't a subgenre yet, but I'm intending to like make it one because it needs to be a subgenre.
Well, and Cowboys and Dragons just has always fascinated me. And
Sword and Sorcery, Cowboys and Dragons. I get it. Yeah.
But there's no fantasy Western tag on Amazon, so
yet.
Yes, yeah, I was gonna say
yet. There you go, Chris. Ron liked Color of Magic.
I think Brian said he liked it too. So yeah.
I do.
We'll see how it lands.
I would love to play that game someday. The soundtrack is one of my favorite things on the planet, and I listen to it a lot while I'm writing the Bloodstones books.
It's the only game I platinum going. That was such a fun game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Evie, Nathan knows that you're not enjoying it, Evie.
Yeah, I mean, my message of, so I read the prologue and 5 pages into chapter 1, ... That ellipsis, I hoped spoke
volumes.
So much.
Yes, because we, as the younger generations, know how to use ellipses.
Don't know how to use ellipses?
We do. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I with people that are in a previous generation that use ellipses in really weird ways when texting.
Like in the middle of a sentence? Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're
how
pausing instead of like being passive aggressive or like trying to imply something. It's really weird. Like I'll have text conversations with people. They'll have like 6 emojis, ellipses, continue sentence. It is so off-putting.
Why are you outing me like this, Pete?
You're not.
But
the ellipses won't mean anything. That's the issue.
Brian, I'm happy that we can provide some peer pressure. Also, you're welcome to join us on screen if you like. Anitha, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Next year, maybe.
Unacceptable.
I'm sorry.
but also felt that.
Lord of the Rings for your birthday month. That sounds amazing. Love that. Sometimes it's hard to switch between American comics and manga, the direction you're supposed to read. Yeah. Matt.
So the copy I had was directions are hard, left to right.
Okay.
Are
you sure?
I am positive because the page numbers were going 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just I don't know why my brain can't process.
That's fair.
So, oh my god, a wizard's here.
He was here earlier too, I think. We can find out with Lightbringer. Yeah. Gunslinger fan. I like that. Gunslinger fantasy. Yes. See, I started reading The Gunslinger just for the fun of it. Sometimes I pick up books off my shelves and read like a page or two just to see what I think. Interesting opening. That is one of my favorite opening lines I think I've read in a book in a long time. Because I don't know if you guys have ever heard it. Does anybody care if I read it on screen? Is anybody going to be spoiled by that?
Spoilers, gosh.
Sorry.
First line.
I haven't read it yet, so maybe it'll get me to read it.
I mean, everybody plug your ears if you don't want to hear the first line, I guess.
First line challenge, live.
Right? The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed.
Like 3 people type it in before you
It's so good. Like, that's such a great opening line. It's not too in your face, but it's definitely intriguing.
Ryan, some people like to go into a book completely blind. Like, so blind they can't even use a stick.
Yeah, I love that we have fans here. I know. People are weird about spoilers these days, Anitha, so we just have to be careful.
I'm most likely going to forget it if I ever get around to it. So.
Right? One of the silver linings sometimes for me with ADD is that people can like tell me about a book, and then by the time I read it, I have forgotten everything they said. It's great.
Andrew, these
Hey,
are
wizard.
Right?
Here comes the other kitty.
Hey, George.
Aww. Hi, George. Okay, I have to ask Evie. I mean, you've probably said this on live streams before. Is she named after George Eliot?
No. So she's named after George Weasley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
hey, we love that.
So I thought it would be funny because this is the way my stupid humor is. I thought it would be funny to name 2 female gray cats after 2 male redheaded brothers.
That's amazing. I love that.
My mom has her sister, so
cute.
Yeah,
that's cute. I know you were Ryan. Don't worry. Andrew, you know exactly how Dark Age is going. Yeah, I've been buddy reading it with Laura from Fantasy Awash because we kind of accidentally started reading Iron Gold together, and we were like, well, heck, let's just keep going. And we've had some very vehement Voxer messages the last couple of days. It's
like against each other or about the book?
No, we're actually lining up pretty much completely on our thoughts on it, which like it wouldn't have mattered to me either way because I like discussing differences too. But yeah, we're both going into like, so especially some of the convenience things we've both had some strongly worded opinions about. So no, you're good, Ryan. That is the worst feeling though. I'm not going to lie. And I'm sorry.
I live that. It's bad.
Right.
That's why I always do like a visual cue if I'm on video of like,
shh. Yeah.
Make sure, even if my joke didn't land, that people know it was a joke.
It's a joke.
That I laughed at my joke because I found it funny, at the very least.
My father is the type of person where on a regular basis, when he's talking to people, they will turn to either me or my mom and be like, is that a joke? Like he has the driest humor. People have no idea if he's joking or not. And my mom and I was like, yep, don't worry about it. It's a joke. So.
Britain, I am the joke gets.
Right. So what did you guys have for dinner? Because I had cheesy tteokbokki, which I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Yum.
But it's basically they're rice cakes, Korean rice cakes. They look like really fat noodles basically, and it's in like this really cheesy, spicy sauce, and it's amazing. It's delicious.
Cheese, meh. No.
Corey's basically saying
Spicy?
whatever
No.
whatever you guys had, I had better.
I mean,
just lost
See, you offended her so much, she left.
Right.
Jeez.
It's
I
like,
don't know if you can tell, but
fine.
I'm very white and I'm very stereotypically white. I can't deal with
I haven't met anyone else who really disliked cheese besides CM Kaplan. He was the only other person
Oh, yeah.
I knew who was like,
So-
I don't like cheese.
I will eat cheese when it is melted on a pizza. Otherwise, I do not like cheese. One, because of lactose intolerance, and two, it's a texture thing.
See, that's
Mm.
fair.
My
Yeah.
ex-sister-in-law, she would have blocks of like cold cheese as a snack, and she would just like
That's me.
unwrap them.
That's
And I'm like,
great.
See, but I need to have it with crackers too. I don't
no,
just
she
do-
Like the little baby dolls, I'll just pop those. Those are great. I know.
We're scarring Evie for life here.
Cheese, salami, fresh bread. That is
Yes.
just perfect.
Ooh, slices of cheese on a Ritz cracker with little bits of meat. The adult Lunchables.
something that I didn't realize that I had an aversion to. Bananas by themselves, good, as long as they're not even slightly mushy, because
True.
I'm very particular. Yogurt by itself, also very good.
Yeah.
I found out that my former manager, well, because of my former manager, she would eat yogurt in the mornings when we were in the office, and she decided to put sliced bananas in there, and she was eating them, and I kid you not, I puked in my mouth. Like, I'm like,
That's a
No.
texture nightmare for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it's an odd fruit choice for yogurt. I mean, usually like blueberries or
I mean,
strawberries or
if you've made like a yogurt bowl where you have a little bit of yogurt with your granola, fine.
Mhm. Like
But
an
if it's
acai
like-
bowl.
Yeah, exactly. But if it's like mostly yogurt and then you throw, yeah, that's a weird texture combo.
yeah.
Britain, my sibling was married, correct?
So I recently had somebody make me, or not make me. It was for a big like shindig. They made yellow fruit salad. So it was mangoes, pineapples, and bananas all together. And I'm sorry,
your God, she's gonna throw up.
By the way, this is a joke. I don't actually puke. I just like to do the like dry.
That was a very
That
convincing
was
dry.
convincing.
Yeah, that was very convincing. I was waiting
mango.
all over the screen.
See, mango is my favorite fruit, bar none.
I love it. It's so
love
good.
mango.
Good, but like when you combine the sliminess of the mango with the less than crispness of a banana that's been sitting there for a hot second, with more of the pineapple juice and stuff like that, it's just not.
It just gets kind of weird.
I
to
will
see.
say I don't like banana and fruit salad. Like it just has to be not in a fruit salad.
It goes brown so quickly.
Mhm.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I think I just don't like fruit salads. I like my fruit separate.
That's fair.
Okay.
That is fair.
To me,
Keep the
to
fruit
me-
separated.
I mean, I'll have an actual banana, but otherwise, bananas for me are like shake material. They're
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, I'm going to combine the two. So I am that weird person that loves pineapple on pizza.
That's
Me
not-
too.
Yes, new best friend. Okay,
It's
we're
so good.
Evie, how can you say this when I'm in the room? I love pineapple. on
I
pizza.
will die on the Hawaiian pizza island.
I don't like
Bacon,
ham though. So like I'll
pepperoni.
do like a pepperoni pizza with pineapple
I'll
on
do
it.
either.
now it's Tori's time to hurl.
Well, I'll take it one further. So I have a weird thing with food. I love how this has turned into a food conversation.
Oh, always.
I'm
This is
hungry.
my life.
I am one of those weirdos who like I love sweet things and I love savory things. I do not like them together. If you put like a brown sugar ham, barf, hate it. If you like, I even have to be very like specifically in the mood for like a fruit pie if it's warm. Like baked fruit just is very iffy for me. But if you add sweet and savory together, like sweet and sour chicken, hate it. I want them separate. Like I don't want if I want
That's
something.
like my main food combination.
I know.
Like sea salt caramel. Makes me so happy.
That's okay because it's pretty much all sweet with like the hint of salt. That's okay, but like.
No, I'll do like pretzels and Nutella. Awesome combo for me.
Yeah, brown sugar ham makes me literally my stomach like curl. Which is funny because that is of course what my
There's
grandmother.
not many foods I don't like. Brussels sprouts are gross.
They can.
No, I thought that I didn't. I thought that I hated Brussels sprouts, and then my husband, well, my now husband, made some, and apparently I had been eating them prepared wrong my entire life. Well, by entire life, I mean the few times that I have.
I've not found the ones that are made right. Everyone's like, try this one. I'm like, it still tastes gross. Like, unless the edges are super duper crispy and it's all the way through, I guess maybe if it's freeze dried, I could handle it. But it's just there's something about it. And also, you can taste them for the rest of the day. No matter what you eat, you will always taste the Brussels sprout in one way or another. So that's the reason I don't like it. Also, papaya. I try every year. I'm like, do I like this? No. So I'll try it.
Maybe it'll change next year.
Maybe.
I was gonna say Brussels sprouts in an air fryer, but if it's also the taste that kind of lingers, then I have no suggestions there.
Yeah, I try. I don't hate them. I don't like the taste.
On our last night of our vacation, Ben and I went to a small, locally owned, like traditional Irish pub restaurant, which was incredible. And I had corned beef and cabbage, which was one of the best restaurant meals I have eaten in a long time. Oh, that was good. So good. And on the side, I got not an appetizer, but like just a side of Brussels sprouts. Oh my gosh. I don't know what they did to them, but they were incredible. They're so good. It was such a good
I've yet to find the perfect one. It's, I guess, my white whale that I really didn't ask for, but
yeah, it was so good. It was so good. I love, like, I don't care what kind of cuisine it is. I love any kind of, like, you go to a restaurant that makes authentic cuisine. Just makes me so happy because I'm tired of all of the, like, you know, here's the pretend version of like Asian cuisine, or like my husband still has I don't understand, but he's always like, we should go get some like greasy Chinese food. And I'm like, no.
Sometimes that really hits the spot though. I do love like the authentic stuff, but sometimes I'm like, I just want a crab rangoon and some Panda Express. I don't know what it is. Just sometimes I'm like, this hits.
It's that unique American blend of
because it's American. I don't know.
It's created by Chinese immigrants, and this is what they started serving people, and people liked it.
Yeah.
Asian restaurant is legit if they have Asian newspapers. There you go. That's the prerequisite. Yeah, see, there's a really cool restaurant about 40 minutes from us that does authentic hand-pulled Chinese noodle bowls.
Ooh, those are so much fun to watch.
So good. And just like the perfect type of spice where it's like actually flavored instead of just burn your face off.
Nice.
Which is great. Ron wants to know how do we all feel about asparagus? These are the really deep questions we need to ask on these live streams.
I like it. I just don't have it often enough. See, for me, vegetables are weird. Like if there's a certain point where they're too mushy, if it like flops around, I'm like, I don't like that. Like just a little bit of crisp. Like I can't eat broccoli cooked. There's just some childhood trigger. Like the smell of it reminds me. Yeah. So it was elementary school. They used to serve like cheese broccoli, and it smelled so bad. And I love the two things separate, but not cooked together. So I guess if I just had a piece of uncooked broccoli and some cheese, it'd be fine. But there was just something about that school lunch. Like I can't do canned green beans. I'm like, this is mush. It's so sad.
Green beans are ruined for me because of like the bagged green beans that have nothing in them that my parents fed me. It's like, why couldn't you have fed me green beans that actually had like flavor to them instead of just like straight steamed green beans?
Oh, we do them in the cast iron skillet with some bacon grease and some Parmesan and garlic.
It's something that I still need to like get. It's like childhood food trauma I need to get over.
Yep.
90s kid, healthy eating. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what it's not the stalks, but like the asparagus, that the very tip of it where it's got the little,
Rush. I don't know what it's called.
what is it? Well, I don't know what it's called. Whatever. The very tip of the asparagus thing. I love those. I will eat those till the day I die, dadgummit. But the rest of it, not so much.
Yeah.
Don't get me started about artichokes, though. I will. Artichokes are gross.
Love artichokes.
Oh God! I was just gonna say I don't understand any.
There's so much work, but they're so good.
They're so good.
All right, maybe it's another case of I just haven't had them prepared correctly. So
Maybe.
Oh yeah, you steam that. So you put them in the oven with oil and salt and garlic, and you just cook them until they're done. Yes, if you get like the fresh ones, you do have to peel like 95% of it, but dip it in a little mayonnaise. It's really good. For me, it is.
It definitely can be, Zen. I do agree with this. To say, like, if they get if you have really stocky asparagus, it's awful. My food trauma came from my grandmother. You want this delicious raw spinach? Cool. Let me cool them and ruin it. Ruin it. I put spinach in everything.
I love fresh spinach, fresh arugula and spinach. So good.
Yeah, I love arugula.
Ben's growing a bunch of lettuces in the garden this year, and we've already had some salads that were just
Nice.
my
I've
daughter.
been doing that.
There you go, Evie and Katie. We just need to have Elaine's daughter do like a fancy dinner, and we'll all try it and love it. Two types of food in the world: food I like and food I wished I liked. See, there's some food that I'm totally okay not liking. But those are the ones I get in trouble for. Pickles. I don't like pickles.
Oh, I love a good pickle.
That bothers me so much.
I have to be in the
Sorry.
I have to be in the mood for pickles, and even then, it's got to be like in very small doses.
I think I'm always in the mood for a good pickle. Like, yeah.
I only like the dill. Like,
Have you tried the Griot's pickles? They come in like this tub, and it's got like a pickle lounging on like a little folding chair. Those are some of the best store-bought ones. They're fresh. There's still some crisp to them, not just some mushy thing.
Nothing working for Katie.
Or like the Mount Olive ones that are somehow yellow, and I'm like, how did we get to this color?
Yes, it's in any type of potato.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't care what form it is in. Give me potatoes.
Potatoes are amazing.
Okay, so I'm weird. Mac and cheese, in theory, I should like, but I really only like the Kraft mac and cheese. And I've tasted good mac and cheese, like homemade mac and cheese with like 4 different types of cheese. There's something about it. I'm just like, I can't do this. But the Kraft mac and cheese, I'm like, this is not good for me, but I really like this.
Give me the powdered cheese for the love of God.
I don't know what it is.
No, I just said I don't eat cheese, but dadgummit, Kraft mac and cheese, dadgummit.
That's not real cheese, so it still counts.
I know.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
I'm like,
See,
why?
I want the French fries and the mac and cheese, and then scoop the mac and cheese with your French fries.
Feel like
That's
Do that. Or maybe I should
Like,
try that.
I am so Midwestern farm girl. Like, I didn't even know that veggies existed.
Type thing though.
Oh, you guys are the ones who have salads, but it's like a fruit thing with like half whipped cream and
A salad in Minnesota, especially if you're growing up going to church potlucks, is Jell-O with carrot shreds in it. That's a salad.
I don't like that.
The other option,
I don't like that.
That's the old Jell-O. Otherwise,
Were you guys the people who invented the Jell-O with the hot dog? Was that you guys? Is that why that was an American thing in like the 60s?
I don't know, probably.
Sounds like a Midwestern thing.
But like the other thing that you would be considered like a Midwestern potluck salad is also known as a casserole. So
Love casseroles.
But the salads with like the whipped cream and stuff like that is also like a deep South thing. Like,
Did not know that until we got here into the South, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yep, tater tot hot dish, man.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. You got to have some cream of mushroom soup and your green beans with the tater tots on top.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, what Andrew said.
Ambrosia.
Oh no,
salad.
the biggest cheese crime is Cheese Whiz. That's the biggest crime. I'm looking at the
Ugh.
comments. I will not. Cheese Whiz is disgusting.
You know,
I agree with Ben.
having
I'm a snob.
Go ahead.
Nothing from a box.
When I was really young, we used to go out to one of my sets of great grandparents' farm, and my great grandma Vera would make from scratch mac and cheese, and that is still to this day the best thing I have ever eaten. When it comes to, oh my gosh, it was so good. She was amazing.
What type of cheeses though?
It was a white cheese, so I'm not sure if it was like just like white American cheese. I have no idea. I don't remember because I was really young.
That she probably like churned herself from
Probably.
cows that she had.
Probably.
I was about to say, I've started experimenting with Asiago because I picked up a block one day and I was like, let me try this. And then I was like, oh my God.
That would be a really good mac and cheese.
It's really good.
Oh, with Gouda, Parmesan.
Gouda's also really
Gouda's
good.
good too.
Smoked Gouda.
I love this comment.
Again.
Pickles can absolutely feel free to ruin my life and I would be in my element.
I feel that. I will be pickled from the inside and maybe live a little bit longer, and I will die happy.
I'm pretty sure the Egyptians figured out how to do that.
I mean, with the amount of fermented stuff we eat in my household, so my dad really discovered he likes kimchi, so like I make it like every 3 months. So we always seem to have something. And now I'm doing sourdough, so now we're just doing all the fermented things. We're not going to make yogurt, though. We're not doing that.
Yes, Brian. You can't take the Minnesota out once you've lived here for a while. And I always joke around about this because I am literally 8th generation Southeast Minnesotan. Like my triple great grandfather who fought in the Civil War is buried an hour and 10 minutes from my house. Like that's how homebody we are. So I am about as Minnesotan as it gets. Okra's good when it's done well. That's what I will say about that.
I've only heard that people love fried okra down here. I do not enjoy it. But I'm also not Southern, so...
Okra's amazing. Velveeta's not bad mac and cheese.
Can't abide.
There are worse things, but...
And the thing is I love cheese sauce. Like, I love queso. I will make Alfredo sauce. I'll make, the enchilada sauce. But there's just something about homemade mac and cheese. I'm like, I don't know why I don't like this. I should like this.
See, Ryan, like, I agree that I wouldn't want to eat it now, but it's got a little bit of nostalgia for me because, like, growing up as a 90s kid, Velveeta mac and cheese was, like, all I ate for a while. So... All right, shall we do another sprint?
I've actually got to go, but I will be sprinting in spirit.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us, Katie. I appreciate you.
I did not know that this was going to be a live, actually, so disclaimer. You were just inviting me, and I was like, oh, we're not doing it on Discord. We're just doing it in the StreamYard like we did last time. And then I stumbled in the word alive. I'm like, oh, oops. Hello. Here we are.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I love it.
Well, everybody, go check out Katie's books. If you haven't put Hills of Heather and Bone and Assassin of Grins and Secrets on your TBR yet, it should be. Katie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
See you later.
Bye.
Well, because I'm a pumpkin, so.
Okay.
It's pumpkin time.
Pumpkin time. Speaking
of pumpkins, I had my first watermelon this season today.
Ooh, your first
watermelon. The
How does that relate to pumpkins?
Because they're close.
Are they?
I don't know.
Is a pumpkin a melon now?
I guess it's a
watermelon
season,
is summer.
It's an internal
Pumpkin
categorization, all right? I don't know why it makes sense. It just makes sense to me.
I guess there's a watermelon season, pumpkin season.
Yeah, there are summer versus fall.
Types of seasons.
I mean, we have also discovered from Alan that shredded wheat and ice cream are the same thing as well.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I
What?
mean,
I missed this.
yeah,
Oh,
Pete
wait, oh,
showed
that's
up
right. Never
on
mind.
that live stream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
Alan was already very perturbed at a lot of things, and Pete just showed up innocently with his bowl of food, and Alan, in like
Are you eating
mid-sentence, was like,
shredded?
"Are you eating shredded wheat?" It was awesome. That needs to be a gift somewhere. So, just throwing that out there.
Mhm.
I
Um,
will get with my people who deal
Sounds
with
good.
the stuff. So
The gifts.
okay. Anyways, thank you for letting me.
Yeah,
join for a
absolutely.
little bit.
Bye, Evie.
Maybe this will turn into something. Spark a
Keep
creative
going.
duty of me, or
Don't
it may die.
listen.
So
Don't listen to your inner critic who's telling you that it sucks. Just be like, you know what? I don't care.
Keep brainstorming, Evie. Keep doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Don't give up. Get mad at it.
or I could just
Right.
be like, you know what, poetry. It doesn't have to make sense. I can just do poetry. There
Sure.
you go.
There you go.
Anyway,
Right. What makes you happy? Good night, Evie.
all right.
All right. I'm thinking to go to the half hour. Does that work
Sure.
for y'all?
Sounds good.
On a final note, watermelon is ambrosia from the gods.
Let's go, Brian. Hello, everyone. How's it going? How was the reading? Sorry, Ryan. I mean, we're fated to spook somebody every time. It's just kind of how sprints work.
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's always a good sign, I say, when you scare people, because that means they're really
they were invested. Yes. Yeah. This is working really well for me, weirdly enough. I'm close to 2,000 words written in 2 sprints, which feels awesome. And
that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually having a really good time too. I had a little oopsie, but I think I fixed it. But yeah, it's been very productive for sure. I didn't think it. Honestly, I didn't think it would.
I didn't either. I had no idea. It's like, we'll try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just introduced a character in the story that I cannot wait for you guys to meet. He's one of those like cinnamon roll, put him in your pocket type of characters. And I love those so much. So I hope you guys love him too.
We shall see.
Yeah, Pete's not buying it yet. He's like, we'll see.
You're just telling this to us so you can break our hearts later. So I can't get attached.
Yes.
To
I was gonna say, yeah. Don't get attached.
Yes.
You're gonna make this character an undead, aren't you?
And this is Cold Silver you're working on, right?
Yep.
And she's gonna kill this character, and this character is gonna come back as a revenant or whatever. You revenant. Right?
There will be a bear. There will, well, and this is just kind of like my motif at this point. There will be a wolf somewhere in this because at this point, I feel like I'm kind of contractually obligated to include either an actual wolf or wolf metaphor somewhere in every book I write.
Okay. You can just have a character that has wolfish eyes.
There you go.
I feel like that's not a strong enough commitment, Pete.
Or you could just insert the classic inaccurate lone wolf character.
Oh yeah, of course.
The lone wolf.
I mean, the funny thing about you saying that is the way that the section of the story is kind of lone wolf and cub-esque. So it's fine.
Whose last name could be wolf.
Right, exactly.
Put
a little on the nose. Nice, Lantern. Well, I know you're probably not here anymore, but I hope you have a good time at the writer's session. Calling out my K-pop nerdery. Wu Young is the answer to that question for anyone in the chat. The like one person in the chat who will have a clue what that means. Why are sci-fi authors obsessed with setting books on tidally locked planets?
Fantasy authors too. Sanderson's even done it.
Huh. I had never thought about that, but yeah. Noted.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
It's just such an interesting idea.
Yeah. Thanks, Anitha. I feel great about it, to be honest. I'm over 31,000 words on this manuscript now, which feels good because it feels like I'm starting to get like actually into the meat and potatoes, which is great. Nice. Hope you had a good time, Zamar. Book is improving. Yay. Brian is not DNFing Sun Eater, guys.
Darn it.
Pete's so mad about it.
To be like in existence.
Well, it's good to know it continues to be a good series to continue with. Where am I at on that? Demon in White. I'm still got to read the third book on Sun Eater. But I take breaks. I don't it's hard for me to binge a series.
Yeah.
Even if I like it.
I don't know what it is about BookTube, but like I used to binge series all the time. Now can't manage it.
I think I used to binge series, but binge series is so different than how I would binge series now, because like binging a series would mean, hey, take 2 months to read 2 books.
Right.
So booktube, pre-booktube versus in booktube binging series for me would be completely different.
Yeah, I wonder if that has to do with booktube for me too. It's like, do I want somebody, if somebody doesn't like a series, are they gonna, follow me the 2 months I read, from that series kind of thing. So
I think my attention span has just gotten so much shorter in terms of I want to try everything.
Everything. Yeah.
And everything. Yeah.
I mean, I'm reading 2 books simultaneously.
Right.
Not exact same time, but like I'll switch off, each day. Yeah, I know. Like,
just have like,
wouldn't that be bad?
Hey,
that'd be a skill for sure. That'd be a superpower skill.
It's funny. I have definitely had a couple of like severe ADHD days. Well, I will have 2 books on my bed in front of me, and I'll read one, and then I can't focus on it, so I'll move to the other one and try to like go back and forth. That doesn't happen very often, but it has.
But I figured Pratchett and Wirtz would be a very good contrast.
Yes. Yeah. I can definitely see that. Yep.
I feel like books have been the only thing in my life that consistently keep my attention over the entire lifetime of my life. Just like, if I actually get into reading, I'll get into reading. I can spend hours in there. Video games, it's like comes and goes depending on what my mood is. But like books,
okay, I take that back. The last series I binged was Greenbone Saga last year. I read that. I read each one pretty much right after the other. So
I did split them between 3 months. I would say the last one that I really truly binged through and like threw out my booktube TBR was I went through Faithful and the Fallen a couple of years ago in like 3 weeks, I think. And I just couldn't put it down.
Okay.
So
nice. I'm going to finish Bloodsworn this year, but
nice.
I'm do Faith and the Fallen next year. That's the plan.
Yeah, it is a highly bingeable series for sure. Some of the coolest like group combat scenes I've read. Also, he's very good at those. Let's see. Anitha wants to know how many series are we in the middle of?
I haven't counted recently.
Anitha, really? Anitha, how about you? How many series?
One. Let's see. Raven Shadow by Anthony Ryan. I'm only through 1 book. Malazan. Technically Red Rising still because I haven't read what's City Watch by Pratchett. What else?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the recent ones that I've kind of like thrown out the TBR for have been like a bunch of random Tchaikovsky books.
Mm-hmm.
I reread the Percy Jackson series last year and loved it. That got me out of a slump. Still holds up. Hexologists, that was a nice thing to just throw out my TBR for.
Is that a series? Or?
So that's Josiah Bancroft. It's 1 book right now. It's amazing. Loved it. It's you haven't read Senlin yet, have you?
Me?
Senlin Ascends? No,
Chris.
I read Senlin. I have to read the second one yet. So it's
So it's if you like his writing there, you'll like Hexologist. It's basically 2 magical detectives, married couple, in fact, in pseudo magic punk Victorian England ish setting.
Yes,
really fun.
Songs of Chaos too.
Songs of Chaos.
Collation Saga, and these are just books that series where I haven't like caught up on what's out. So there's like a few that like Stormlight I'm not counting because I've read everything that's available so far.
I was going to say, do we count ones where we're waiting on the next book?
No. Drown Kingdom. Complete. Anitha, you know more about what series I'm in the middle of than I do. Can I just say I am so incredibly impressed by people who can binge Malazan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I got as far as Memories of Ice, but it's I don't know. It's not that I'm not disinterested. I don't know. I need a break.
It's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely need
yeah.
breaks. Yeah, I think that's very normal.
I'm still in Memories of Ice. I think I've been still at Memories of Ice for what, months now? Yeah. But,
Well,
yeah.
and I've discovered that like I started my reread of Dead House Gates. I was super excited about it, and then I started drafting Queen's Wolf, and I realized that the mental drain that it takes to create an epic fantasy, especially with the sequel, it's like my brain couldn't handle the enormity of reading Malazan and also trying to craft my own epic fan. Not because I'm like influenced by it necessarily, but it was just like too much to do both.
No, I 100% agree, because I credit Erickson to my epic that I'm working on, and multiple character threads, all that stuff, and history, and it's all in there, and
Yep.
and it's the same thing, and it's
just a
kind of
lot.
like I don't want it to, like, the words from Erickson to, like, just when as I'm writing, and it just like
Yeah.
takes over
Yeah.
kind of thing, and it's just like I need to make sure it's
My issue is more that I start comparing myself to Erickson, and I'm like, why can't I write like this?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten pretty good at compartmentalizing my voice versus what I'm reading. So like I know a lot of authors take a break from reading almost entirely while they're writing, which is totally fair. I don't know that I could ever do that. But I'm pretty good at like separating out. I'm not easily influenced, I guess, by what I'm reading when I'm writing typically. But
yeah, and then let's see, Red Rising. I need to start Iron Gold. That's 4th book, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Book 3 of Sun Eater. Book 2 or 3 of Kithamar. There's only 2 books out, so I guess that doesn't count. Yeah,
but 3 doesn't come out until next year.
But I was gonna start The Expanse, but I think I'm gonna read the first book to the new series first.
Yeah.
Okay.
That way I'm caught up. That way I'm like up to date with that new series, and then maybe I'll dig into Expanse.
Yeah.
Alan's got me really excited for that series.
Oh yeah, I
purposely wasn't listening to anybody talk about it.
I'm actually very excited to read Dagger and Coin and The Expanse. I'm really looking forward to both of those.
I haven't read The Dagger and the Coin yet either, but I'm in Kithamar right now, so I kind of want to not have 2 from the same author.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, Expanse, but I don't get
it. It's kind of halvesies.
Yeah.
My turn for a hot take. I DNF Dance with Dragons because I said, you know what? That's fair. Like
his reasoning is actually kind of reasonable, honestly.
That's fair. I've heard some authors say that read a completely different genre when they are writing. Absolutely. And I think writers should read a variety of genres anyways, because I think it really gives you a more well-rounded appreciation of storycraft and teaches you things that sometimes you don't always learn in one genre.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So
I'm going to be reading Augustus in July.
Yes.
That was the subscriber pick. So
yes. I voted
and
for
that's
that.
good, because it's going to be like kind of a palate cleanser from all the fantasy and sci-fi.
It's so good, Chris. It's so good. Like I was expecting to enjoy it, but that's still one of the best books I've read in the last 4 years, easily. So I'm excited for you.
And then I'm going to be reading The Ghost on the Throne, which is
nice.
This is nonfiction. But yeah, like what's his name? Ron said, reading just kind of outside a little bit, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I love reading memoirs too. I do dip into memoirs quite often. Anitha, it's funny about this actually. Like Pierce Brown is the author that I always say I feel like you know, when you read books that you're just like, this book was written for me. Like there are those certain books that just are so hit all of those check boxes for you that you just feel like the author wrote it for you specifically. I feel like the original Pierce Brown trilogy is that series for me. And there's so many similarities, I think, in the philosophy that I have and that Pierce Brown has about character writing, that it doesn't, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's easy for me to read that. It actually really inspires me because it just makes me love characters so much reading it that I get really excited to go back and write with mine. So not to say that Erickson doesn't do that. Erickson is like what I aspire to, where I just like, you know, that's the level of just the epic scale of what he has created is so mind-blowingly inspiring. And I feel like the sci-fi aspect of Red Rising helps with that too, because it's in a very, to me, it's a different world, completely different world. I have not seen The Expanse on TV yet. I was wanting to read the books first.
I still need to watch it. I love the series, the book series. I need to.
It was actually a thing I did watch the series on over, and I didn't read the series yet. So I love the series very much, the TV series. So I'll be curious.
Yeah.
What's changed for the books for sure.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since it's also been a while since I saw it. So I think I'll probably rewatch them again after I read the books.
Yeah. I know what the biggest difference is Avasarala. So she's in the books a lot later than she is in the series. Like she doesn't show up until book 2. That's
I found a Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Ben.
Hello.
Hey, Ben.
Ben, do you want to
Hi, Chris.
tell the masses what you are reading right now?
I'm reading Hyperion.
Not.
Nice.
How are you making it? How far into it are you?
Pretty far, actually.
I'm at the detective's story now.
Here, you can show. You can see.
Yeah.
So that
I'm
much
good.
left.
Very
Oh
cool.
wow! So you've gotten into some weird stuff.
Yeah, you know, it doesn't wait too long before you start getting into weird stuff.
True.
I was telling Tori it's like Chaucer's Canterbury Tales meets the Alien franchise. That's sort of what it's like.
Cool.
Yeah.
We did that as an audio for a cross country move from Florida to Seattle. So yeah, we did Hyperion. We thought it was a very fitting choice to do.
Good travel story.
That was a good road trip story for sure.
Yeah, Brian's a big Hyperion fan, I believe.
Yeah.
There are definitely moments like Saul's story was just hard to read. Like, oh man, especially when you have kids yourself. Oh man, that was heavy.
Yeah. So, having gotten that far through it, do you think I would enjoy the book?
Some parts of it you would. Some parts of it you would just be like, I don't need this in my life.
That is definitely a phrase I say on a regular basis.
But he's able to like portray humanity in very strange situations accurately, and I appreciate that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a skill set. Anitha found Cloud Atlas and I was talking to Brian the other day briefly, and he was like, don't read this book. You will hate it. Wasn't good. I think it got wet at some point and pages are all
Stuck, maybe.
Wow, my brain skipped back up to the first line there. That was weird. So I didn't take it. Okay. Things are getting worse. I don't know. I posted in the private chat a little bit ago, but like I was writing this last sprint and I typed out the word taught, like he taught her how to tie knot or whatever. And I spelled it TOUGHT. And I looked at it for like 2 minutes and I was like, that's not right. Why is it not right? Can tell you.
Isn't that weird how sometimes like simplistic words, you're like totally brain dead, or it's just going out, and you're like, how do I not remember how to spell this one word?
Yeah. The other day it was the word power. It just looked wrong. And I was spelling it correctly.
Right?
Wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens to me. Like
Right.
I remember once there was the word "why." I was just like, "Why? It's not spelled right."
Why is it the way that it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I promise
Uncanny
I know how
valley
to spell
moment.
things. But even if I didn't, that's what an editor is for.
Yeah, sometimes though I don't know what editor I have on as a default on when I'm using. Do you write in Word or anything like that, or do you? What do you write
I'm
on?
so old school. I've been writing in Microsoft Word since I was 9 years old. So
Okay, I mean that's where I write initially
Mhm.
in Word too, and I think I have a thing on that does all the underlining and all that, and some
Mhm.
of the things it does, it's like no, that sounds terrible. I don't like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm writing Cold Silver for Souls is in first person present tense. And
Mm.
Microsoft Word is having an actual heart attack right now. It's like, no, you don't say it that way. You have
Yeah,
to
is everything yellowed out? Is
underlined.
everything yellow underlined? Because that's what mine
Yeah.
is.
And then I go over to Queen's Wolf, and Microsoft Word is like, none of these names are in our dictionary.
That's
So,
fair.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've tried, like, I have Scrivener, and Google Docs makes me, I don't like Google Docs. I'm not a fan.
I don't like Google Docs either. No.
And I've thought about trying to write a book in Scrivener, but I always chicken out because I'm like I like trying to teach an old dog new tricks at this point where I've written in this program for so long. I'm just like,
If it's not broken, don't fix it, right?
scary. It's scary.
Yeah.
Um,
I go back and forth. I have one work in progress in Word, one in Google Docs that I'm working with.
here, entertain the people. I'm going to give Tristan a hug.
Oh, okay.
Found a
Also,
full
it's just
size hard
wild that he found
Guardians of the
that for
Moon.
$1.
Mike, is that
It's the red one.
this one?
A
It is.
full-sized hardcover Gardens of the Moon just for $1? That's a steal.
This man, I need to move into his used bookstore. He finds the craziest stuff there of just wow, how? And they somehow don't know what they have.
That's wonderful too. And they're just like, oh, it's a book. Throw $1 on it. Somebody will probably pick it up.
My favorite is when you go into a half price books and they have 3 copies of the same book. One is in pristine condition. One looks like it's, somebody started to put it through a paper shredder and then decided not to. And they're all the same price. That gets me. I'm like, so you couldn't look at these and be like, one of these is worth more than the others. No, apparently not.
Nope.
Brian says Saul's story is heart-wrenching.
It is. Oh man. I was depressed reading that for a while.
Cloud Atlas fan. On my Discord. If you're in my Discord, you can see the cover. I don't know, is it in general chat?
Buy 2.
Oh, the old classic fantasy. I almost said, well, it's my channel. I can do it. The boob armor cover.
Yeah, the Black Company covers too. I love those covers for Black Company.
Super classic. Yeah.
Yep.
I really want to try Scrivener. I do really want to see if I can try writing something in there because I've heard really good things. So I'm going to try and slowly pry my fingers away from.
Is that a subscription thing?
It wasn't
like a one-time payment.
I thought it was a one-time. When I got it, it was a one-time. I don't know if they've changed it. Google Docs. Yeah, Google Docs is kind of buggy, weirdly still. And it has weird. The one thing I do like about Google Docs is it's a lot easier to see, you can break out by chapters and stuff a lot easier. You can still do that in Microsoft Word, but
It's a little bit.
It's a little bit janky. Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you find me a set of Live Ship Traders hardcovers? Chris has a really nice set of those. I just sold all 6 copies that I had of Live Ship Traders this last couple weeks.
Sadness,
Sorry.
but understandable.
Sorry.
How dare you not love? We've had this discussion. You're supposed to love everything I love, Tori.
I know. That's the whole point of BookTube. That we all have the same opinions about everything.
Exactly, and they're all mine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have to decide whose opinions is the one.
Right.
Who has the
I think
opinion?
Alan has already decided whose opinions
Opinions
are the correct opinions.
I mean, I just have to heist the opinion stick from him, and I'm fine.
Exactly.
Which would be any book under 300 pages, right?
Exactly.
Opinions on those smaller books because he's on the war.
I remember, I can't remember if it was on a live stream or what, but I remember Alan was like, "How long is your book, Tori?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's like 480 pages." And he was like, "It's not bad." I was like, "My dude, you are in the wrong genre." That's all I can say.
Yeah, I forget where we were discussing this because I remember this conversation. It was like I was talking about like who would not read my book, and I was like, Alan will never read my book.
I remember that.
Maybe that's good. Maybe that's good. I don't know.
You know? Yeah, I don't know.
Reminding
Spanish
people.
Birds live stream tomorrow on Mike's channel. There's a costume involved. Okay. I'm kind of hoping Brian shows up in like a giant chicken suit or something. That would be fantastic. I'm sorry, Brian. That sucks.
Like he could show up weirdly. I'm trying to see. That wouldn't work on a live stream. Like just show up shirtless and be like, "Hey, my bird costume vanished."
That would also be very funny.
Yep.
Any hardcover over 10 years old goes over the $1 shelf, and they're actually 2 get 1 free. Where I need to know where this bookstore is.
Where is this?
We need to live there.
Yes.
I mean, that's a good way to make sure things keep circulating, I suppose.
I mean, Seattle has a lot of like independent used bookstores.
Yeah.
And once in a while I'll find some great stuff in there. But
Yeah.
our half price books, both of them, are horrible. All you can get is like the cheap mass markets.
The
and
one
even
that's
those are,
closest
like,
to us is
yeah.
like that too. I still can't
Terrible.
believe that I found the Rurouni Kenshin omnibus. So 1 through 6 are pretty-ish easy to find, and they're like $20 to $30 each. I managed to get some really good deals on them. But 7 through 9 are like $75 to $90 a piece, and that is the lowest I've ever seen them everywhere. And they sell for that much. So it's not just like people pricing them that way. That's actually what people are paying. And I was like, well, I probably just won't own them. It'll be fine, I guess. And then the first half price we walked into with Andrew Wizard in Indiana, there's 7 and 8 sitting in their manga shelves for $10 a piece. And I was like, what?
Like they maybe don't know what they have.
No, they definitely did not know what they had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very happy about that.
I love inefficient markets.
Anita wants to know, Chris, how long is your book going to be?
It was around a little over 300K, but now it's down to probably, I'm aiming for a 150-ish.
Okay, so about roughly, Anita, that's around the size of Bloodstones is 150-ish.
Maybe a little more.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
So
yeah, it's probably going to be a little more. It's
500-600 pages.
Yeah.
It's a good. Yeah. That's a good fantasy book length. We can handle it.
It's epic.
Yeah.
Epic is dead, right?
Yes. Joanna and I killed it. We are the culprits.
How dare you?
I know. It was our fault. Southeast Pennsylvania. So road tripping when?
I lived in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's not quite southeast. It's more direct east, but
they are very hard to find, Nero. You know, it's funny because the 2 half price books we went to with Andrew, hands down better than
There's maybe nobody reads in Indiana or something.
I guess, except for him. It was funny. The first one we went through, he was like, yeah, half their collection is from me.
In fact, he's like rebuying books he
right. Zamar says, Chris, that's quite well. You said you're splitting it into books 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, it's now 1 and 2. So
yeah,
no more Sanderson length books for my first debut novel. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
What, it would be like you're cutting out like almost half the book then.
The Chris Navo archive.
Yeah.
Brian suspects you will read The Fall of Hyperion before too long.
I don't know. I'm really curious because there's not much book left in this book, and I was kind of hoping that something crazy is going to happen at the end.
Nope, kitty alert.
Yeah, I don't know. I have honestly no idea how on earth they're going to end this. So
right.
It's funny, for how much I loved Hyperion, I did not read the second one yet.
Same.
Yeah. It's weird that, and I know a lot of people that are like that. They've never read past the first Hyperion book. Same with Dune.
I've heard too.
Dune is like that too with some people, where they've only read the first one. I read the first 3, but
yeah.
I don't know if you guys can hear him at all. I don't know where my mic is on my laptop.
No.
He is very loud when he purrs.
Yoshi is too. I wouldn't be shocked if you guys heard him when he was here.
Mics are funny things. I feel like most mics tend to pick up purrs. Excuse me, as like a background noise that they filter out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pippin's like, "Are we going to bed?" He snuggles with us every night, pretty much. Yeah. And when he's out, he's very out. Like, you can pick up his leg and just drop it, and he's just doesn't care. Cool. Well, I think I'm going to hang it up there, but I am definitely going to do some more of these because apparently that is incredibly effective for me to write a lot of words.
Nice.
Which is surprising. So, Chris, it sounds like it worked well for you too.
Yeah,
so.
it was a really good, and in fact, I'll probably still be going on.
Me too.
Earlier here for me, but
right, because you're 2 hours before me.
Yeah.
8 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. I am glad that things turned around for you, Brian, even if Pete is not happy about it. Some of us are glad that you had a pleasant reading experience.
You made more up for it, and Brian, you made up for it in January when you read.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that, you know what, that took some guts to take on an entire month's TBR of DNFs from other booktubers. That's shout out Brian.
That's commitment in there.
It is. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I, of course, would love for you all, if you haven't already, go to both of these wonderful gentlemen's channels and give them a subscribe and check out their videos. I will add them to the description box of the video. I think Chris is down there already, and I will add Pete's as soon as we're off. And I will see you guys back here hopefully soon, because I have really missed doing live stream sprints. It has been a while. We've been doing some in my Discord on and off, but it's been a while since I've been on here in a live stream. So thanks for hanging out with us, you guys.
Yeah.
And we will see you later.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.